Wait for it. Wait for it. Who am I? You sure you want to know?
What does that make us? Sidekicks?
It's the Trusty Sidekick podcast with your hosts, Jay Washington, Bobby Hill. What's going on, everybody? We're back again. It is the Trusty Sidekick podcast. I am your resident supervillain, Mr. Jay Washington.
And I am your resident hero, Bobby Hill.
This is going to be kind of weird. This is our first one we're doing from two separate locations. So Bobby's in Chicago. I'm still in Los Angeles. So this is going to be interesting to see how this one works out.
Yeah, this is the late night episode. We've had a long day, both of us. It's just after Christmas here. You just finished a long day of comedy. I've been out running around trying to do a bunch of family stuff all day.
Yeah, man, it's been a very, very long day on both ends, like you said. So what else has been going on with you? I mean, again, we last left. We're excited about our upcoming interview, which we do have. We'll be talking to comedian, actor Tone Bell later on. What's been
super excited about that.
Yeah, what's been going on with you for the past week?
Just back in Chicago, getting a bunch of family stuff done. I mean, like Christmas here, there's been a bunch of family things going on. I've got my sister in town. We went up and visited my other sister. And now with that done, it's time to get the swing of things with some comedy stuff this week. Back on my open mic that I've got going on every Thursday. And then I've got some shows coming up with Chuck and a couple other pieces, Chicago Underground Comedy, and a couple other shows I have coming up here in January before I come back out to LA.
Cool. Yeah, just
staying busy. How are things going for you out there? You got a place now in North Hollywood?
Yeah, I got a new place. So, just trying to keep busy and stay active. Things tend to shut down overall as a whole for the holiday season in LA. So it's a matter of just trying to find ways to stay busy and stay active and, keep going on different things. So that's really not been a problem. But I've been on stage. Got a chance yesterday, Christmas Day, to volunteer at the Laugh Factory. Every year, the Laugh Factory, they give meals to those in need, not just the homeless, those who are comedians, actors, anybody who may just want a nice Christmas meal. The Laugh Factory, they give a meal out. So I was grateful to be a part of that. Very nice time. Jamie Masada, Tom Dreesen, a lot of people came through. So it was a great thing to do, man. It was a great thing, and I was honored to be a part of that. So
now, were you there getting the meal, or were you giving them?
I was what? Say what now?
Were you getting the meal, or were you giving them?
I was giving them. I actually was giving them. It was too tempting to try to take a meal, man. They had some good turkey looking. I did get a little bit of a plate. I got a little bit of a plate, but it was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool.
They had to let you fix your own plate.
Hey, man, I know they actually served it up for me, so that was cool.
So, have you lined up your New Year's party yet? What's going on with that?
New Year's, I have no idea what's gonna happen yet. Trying to still work out the details on that right now, but don't know exactly what's gonna happen as far as New Year's goes. So
nice. Well, I'm sure you'll figure something out, man. There's got to be some good stuff going on there. New Year's in Los Angeles is a good time.
Yeah, I've heard it gets crazy, so I'll figure something out. I got a couple of days to work that out. I'm debating if I'm actually gonna get in my car and drive 20 hours up north to go be with the family. So that's been like a big thing on the mind, but I'll figure that out one way or another. So let's kind of jump right into it, man. Christmas Day meant the new Deadpool trailer.
Yeah, they released a red band and a green band trailer on Christmas, which is, first of all, why are you using a green band? Why are you going to have to put out a green band trailer for Deadpool?
You know what? I think the thing is, I think I agree. I think they should only release red band trailers.
Well, it's like having a non-explicit version of an NWA album. You know what I mean? Like, who are you appealing to?
This is very true. I think the reason that they do the green one is to show, okay, everything isn't just profanity per se. Because that's the reason you release a red band trailer, is to do the profanity in it.
Right. They gotta have something to put on TV, I guess. But the odds are, if you're not into swearing, this may not be the movie for you.
Well, it's not even really just to say for you, because when we say that, a lot of people think just for adults. It's more so to inform adults about not bringing their kids.
Right. Yeah, definitely don't bring your kids to this movie.
Man, I am so hoping people actually realize that your kids should not come to see this. Your young child shouldn't come by themselves to see this movie, because it's not going to be pretty at all.
Neither should your outside religious relative. Don't let them come either.
Yeah, you don't want any grandparents trying to go see this and thinking it's going to be great for them. So, what did you think about this trailer?
I like it, man. The action sequences look pretty outstanding. The movie's directed by Tim Miller, who does a lot of special effects on movies like Scott Pilgrim. So the movie looks really, really good. I'm obviously super into Marina Baccarin as Wade Wilson's girlfriend or wife in the movie. She can be Leon Gotham, and she can be Vanessa, a.k.a. Copycat, in this movie. I'm fine with that. I have no problem with her playing both characters on Marvel and DC in this. I like the characters of Ajax and Angel Dust, which is Ed Skrein and Gina Carano. They'd be pursued out of my life. Dude, it's so hilarious when he calls her Jose Canseco. It's so good. I'm cool with TJ Miller as Weasel, but I wish it would have worked out something where they could have included Hydra in the film, so we could have gotten Bob. Are you familiar with Bob in the Deadpool comic books?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, in the Deadpool comic books, Bob is a member of Hydra who gets freaked out by Deadpool when Deadpool comes in and becomes basically Deadpool's like pet sidekick that he brings on missions and shit. Bob has no superpowers at all, and he runs most of the time. He's got shitty Hydra training. He's kind of like a joke to the whole comic book universe, but Deadpool likes to bring him around. So I like to see something like that, but it doesn't look like it's going to be there because TJ Miller is too much of that kind of a character, and he's playing Weasel. So, but there's a bunch of stuff in the trailer I think is just hilarious. I think Colossus looks the best that he looked in any live action version.
Dude, I think the same. I'm the same way. I was like, I remember Colossus from the X-Men movies, and he was super small, and to see him look like he should look is amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
With a legit, like a good Russian accent too.
Yeah, they got his sister in it.
Yep.
So I like that, dude. It's a blending of, you get the mutants, but you don't get full mutants. You're gonna get 3-4 mutants, and that's not even saying who the actual bad guy is in the movie. We know that the antagonist is gonna be the Doctor who creates him, but we don't know how far that's gonna go yet.
Exactly, or how that may bleed into some other movies after this. I mean, personally, I think it's better than any of the Wolverine stuff that they've put out, at least from the opening commercials. That's what it looks like, because that's gonna be better than any of that stuff that they've had so far. As much as I like Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds is kind of made for Deadpool.
Well, again, this is one of those roles where you're made for this role. He's always wanted to be Deadpool, and he invested his own money to get the test footage and everything. He wanted to be this character, and so now he gets his opportunity to be this character. So
don't fuck it up, Brian.
I don't think he will. I love the fact that they are doing that. One of the things they're promoting heavy in this trailer too, just as they did with the first one, is the breaking of the fourth wall. Deadpool consistently talking to the audience, acknowledging his surroundings.
I like that too. It's going to be, I mean, that's, that was always the concern about making the Deadpool movie. It's the concern that they weren't going to be able to try and make it equivalent to the way it is in the comic books. But obviously, the way this has been done, they've kind of thrown all that out the window and made sure that they have something that's going to appeal to people who read the comic books, which is good.
Yeah, they're definitely, the comic book fans are going to love it. The action fans are going to love it. Those who are fans of Ryan Reynolds should love it. Again, the countdown is like maybe 54 days now. So it's getting close. Yeah. It's getting close.
Which means we're that close to our first good movies of our first superhero movies of the new year, which I'm pretty excited about.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you with that. So I'm like I said, I'm looking forward to it, man. I honestly can't lie. I can't say that I'm not. I'm actually excited for it. The trailer keeps me, I've watched the trailer over and over again. So let's stick on to some Marvel news. You got some information.
Yeah, well, first of all, man, it's easy to forget about that. It's not the easiest to forget about Deadpool because it is such a good comic book, but from the movie standpoint, because it's kind of on an island, because it's not directly attached to any of the Wolverine or X-Men movies directly. You know what I mean? It's easy to have it get lost out there, but it's definitely something to keep your eye on. But yeah, Luke Cage news. And for anybody who's listening, which we seem to be getting a bunch of listeners from all over, so of course, thank you to everybody who's listening wherever you have to be picking this up. There's no new shows that are on TV right now. There's no new episodes that are out. Everybody's on break. So we've got some short bits of news and pieces of information before we get into the Tone Bell interview that we're going to cover with you. Luke Cage, not a whole lot from the Luke Cage camp other than a funny side story that Quentin Tarantino almost made a Luke Cage movie. Have you read about this?
No.
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino almost made a Luke Cage movie way back in the day. And he claimed that his main issue was struggling at the idea of choosing between Wesley Snipes and Lawrence Fishburne because he really wanted Fishburne, but Wesley Snipes was obviously in much better condition to potentially play the role. And instead he ended up making Pulp Fiction, which is completely not like that at all.
That is because now I'm picturing Lawrence Fishburne in Predators when he played the psychopath, and he was actually in a better shape than what we've seen. So to think of Lawrence Fishburne in the Cowboy Curtis from Pee-wee's Playhouse shape being Luke Cage is hilarious.
Yeah, or Wesley Snipes being Luke Cage.
You know what? I'll say this. I believe that Luke Cage the character needs to be tall, and,
right?
And having worked with Wesley, because I thought Blade was tall. When I saw Blade, I thought Blade was tall, and to work with him personally, I was like, you ain't tall, fam. So
I mean, he's not tiny, but he's shorter than he doesn't have the same imposing character in person as you would as Lawrence Fishburne does.
Exactly.
And that's the thing that's probably the whole. I think Mike Coulter, though, currently for the TV show, is a good choice. I like him there.
He's actually a perfect character. Just in a few episodes we've seen in Jessica Jones, and to know that the Luke Cage series follows immediately afterwards, timeline wise, it's gonna be interesting to see when this drops.
Yeah, exactly. I can't wait for it to come too. I hope we'll be here soon.
It shouldn't be that long, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. No,
I know we got to get Daredevil season 2 first.
Yeah, Daredevil season 2 will come, which they've already obviously shot a lot of. There's some news on that we'll probably talk about next week when we do the show, because we can't give you everything now, because otherwise, why would you come back? But yeah, it's going to be good. I think Luke Cage is going to be a nice addition to that series.
Definitely. Now, something I haven't really kept up with, I'm going to admit it, I have not kept up with it at all. Agent Carter.
Yeah, have you watched any of the first season?
Hell no.
Man, what are you doing? This is where it starts. This is where the good stuff starts. I think all the shows that are, your Jessica Jones, your Supergirl, like it all comes back to Agent Carter. To be honest with you, gotta go see it. The first season of Agent Carter is good.
Okay, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt because I mean I wasn't a fan. Again, like I told you, how with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with it drawn out, I was like, okay, let's see what happens past season 1, and now Agent Carter's on season 2, and again, it's that whole prequel story. Yeah, I said prequel twice. It's that prequel story because it's the story of what happened after Captain America dived into saving America and saving the world. It's the story of that,
right?
That time frame. So it's like you don't get too much shock and surprise because you know how everything turns out.
Yeah, I mean, that S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to be formed out of this, but it's interesting to see some of the steps that it takes. They include Tony Stark's dad in the show a bunch. Jarvis, the actual person Jarvis, before it became a computer program, is included in the show, is really good. And really, I think the evolution of Haley Atwell as Agent Carter, going from, someone who's not given much trust as an agent in this office in New York to being a full-fledged agent. And now, when it comes back, she's going to be in Los Angeles, which is going to be really cool. Her and Jarvis should be doing a lot more team-ups, which is, they work best when they're kind of working together, which you don't get because you haven't seen any of the shows. But it's cool, man, and she really, she really attacks her role in a way that's kind of like in the middle between Supergirl and Jessica Jones does.
Well, I mean, what, the way you break it down, I will give it a shot. I'll start catching up with some of the episodes. Hopefully, I'll be caught up completely with season 1 by the time we record our next episode. Speaking of Captain America, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., let's go right into Captain America Civil War. There's been a lot of new news and information coming out about that now.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff going on with that. Do you have anything? Do you have anything on it that I've got some stuff from the Russo brothers, who've really. I mean, they talked about how because they're directing Civil War and then they're directing the Infinity War, the first version of the Infinity War, and they're talking about a lot of the good heat that Civil War scene. But they're saying Infinity War is going to be something extremely shocking. The stakes are going to be so high. They talked about the relationships between Captain America and some of the other people in Civil War. In fact, his scenes between him and Natasha are kind of huge in the movie, which is Scarlett Johansson's character. But obviously the relationship that kind of ties everything together is this relationship he's got with Bucky, which is these guys are, friends from, before World War II who just kind of, both went to sleep for a little while. But as far as they're concerned, they spent more time together as friends than as enemies, which is a thing that's a deep divide for everybody, I think, when this movie kind of gets down to it.
Well, I've been talking to people, and their biggest concern has been, will Civil War actually hold to the Civil War theme of Captain America actually dying at the end?
Right. Which I don't think so, because the Russos have already talked about Cap going into the Infinity War. So they do reference him as Captain America, I think, and not as Steve. So, but I'm pretty sure that whatever happens, Steve Rogers escapes Civil War as Captain America still.
Well, I've been reading a lot of different things outside of that of how the Russos are trying to take on this storyline with a lot of the pivotal characters not being able to be utilized. The Fantastic Four, the X-Men, these are pivotal characters that are needed for a lot of the story arcs in the superhuman, not mutant, superhuman registration act. So I've been reading up on it. It's going to be very interesting to see how they do this, because you won't appease everybody, because again, it won't be the actual storyline.
Yeah, there's going to be people who are going to be very upset. People that read the comics going through and are tied way into that. We're not going to like the way that this goes. But the reality is that the cinematic universe doesn't fit in perfectly with the comic universe for a number of reasons, besides the fact they don't have access to all the properties. Some of those stories just don't work on a movie scale. When you're trying to tell a story of 2 hours at a clip, there's just not enough time to be able to introduce all the people you need to introduce to make it palatable for somebody on a movie watching level.
Right. I mean, we'll see. Again, everything is starting to throw. We're almost at the turn of the new year, so we'll be getting ready to get some of these movies pretty soon, get more information on trailers, and more things will leak out and just be released on its own, so we'll figure those out. Speaking of things along the Marvel parameters, Guardians of the Galaxy, man, they're in pre-production of Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yep, they're already kicking that off. There's a big name star who may be the big question, of course, with Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is who Star-Lord's dad's going to be, right? That's obviously the big thing that everybody's talking about. The rumor is Kurt Russell may be the dad, which I would be super into. I know Hateful Eight just came out. Have you seen it yet?
I have not.
Neither have I, but I need to.
I probably will go see it either sometime this week. I probably will.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have any parties or anything going on, you might as well see a bunch of movies.
True.
Catch up on your movie game, man. You got to get ready. But, Kurt Russell may be the dad in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which I think would be a great one. I think it's a good move.
I mean, he's a great actor. I think he can, he'll play along a good factor. But again, the question becomes, so Star-Lord's dad is human, but his mom isn't?
Yeah, and then the question becomes, what to do with the mom.
Okay. All right. So you got to go back. I know we keep revisiting this week in and week out. Seems to be your favorite subject, Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice. Yeah,
we set it up so we can get into it before we start talking about the DC shows. There's some more info on some of the other characters and who isn't going to be in the movie. There'll be no Green Lanterns of any kind, no Green Lantern Corps, no Hal Jordan, no Guy Gardner. There'll be no versions of Green Lanterns in the movie at all.
Wow.
There'll be none, which is, I think, probably for the best, at least right now. And I'm sure you're probably happy, considering you feel like you don't need to stuff any more people in it.
Yes, I definitely, the fact that we're already getting Cyborg, Flash, Aquaman on top of all the rest of this.
Right. And it's, and the thing is, obviously these are just speculation and rumors right now, because some of these rumors sound opposite. They don't sound like they line up with the rumors that we were talking about last week, but we're just covering everything we can possibly find. Like, so far, the current rumor now is that Lex Luthor will be responsible for bringing Aquaman into the story, which I'm not exactly sure how that's supposed to work out. You'll catch a pre-cyborg Victor Stone. So
Yeah, I heard that.
Before he becomes, so you won't see Cyborg in this movie. You'll see a version of Victor Stone before that happens. And then there'll be a couple instances where you see the Flash, at least some what they've got so far. And one is going to be in costume, and obviously that's probably going to be a very quick look. Pun intended on that one. And also, you'll see him as Barry Allen, possibly, but apparently that might end up on the cutting room floor. So, I think I still have hope for this movie. I believe in this movie, and I believe that the small versions you're going to give these characters are going to give you just enough of a taste that you want to stick around and catch more.
My problem is we talked about this in a previous episode, that Marvel proved that several strong characters together can survive in one film. This is true, but the several characters had all been established beforehand, not like this where no one's been established.
Which is kind of, if you're going to be DC and you're going to be different, you kind of have to do something that's different, like set up some context of who these people are and then create a backstory or show the backstory in their separate movies, which we don't believe in at all.
I just, because of the magnitude of what you're doing with the Justice League, you're not counting anything that's on television now. You're basically going to reestablish all these characters, and it's like it's gonna be 8 different plot lines in one.
Yeah, I think it depends on how deep into each of them that they get into. So Lex brings Aquaman into the story. Well, is Aquaman going to do a whole bunch, or is he just going to have a short bit of these cameo parts for these people, or are they actually going to be, directly involved in the outcome of where this current movie goes? Or will the end of the movie end on such a cliffhanger, which these guys are kind of drawn together, and then you really want to find out what the hell it is that's bringing these guys to each other? Just roll with me, man. I believe it. Believe in this movie with me.
I can't. You know what? I need to see a better trailer.
Right.
I need to see a good 2.5-3 minute trailer that is not what we've seen, that has nothing of what we've seen, either teaser or an initial trailer. And I need to read the synopsis.
For a guy who's in a movie that a lot of people made assumptions of before they ever saw it, you're making a lot of assumptions.
I knew you were going to bring it up. I knew that was going to happen eventually in this conversation. Like, bro, you went through hell in a handbag defending Chirac out there, which, by the way, you can own on Tuesday on digital HD from Amazon.com.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you can own it this Tuesday, the 29th, and on the 26th.
Chirac the movie.
Yes, but I knew you were going to bring it up. But it's, I guess, because the how do I say the difference is that with the Justice League,
you're not in it.
Yeah, that too. I'm not in it.
They can solve that problem.
So let's just skip this. Supergirl, man. I don't know, man. We get ready to come back on Supergirl second half of the first season. What are you expecting?
Well, I'm expecting to see some cool things. It's been picked up for the full season, which is cool. That's your first move towards maybe getting a second season out. It's getting picked up for your first full season, so we're getting a full set of Supergirl episodes. It looks like Wednesday, the Toy Man will arrive in episode 11, and we'll be creating some havoc for a while. It'll be interesting because the Toy Man character is not someone who is an alien, so obviously Supergirl's involvement is going to be with the fact that there's a personal aspect of it being Lynn's dad. So my guess is that things between Lynn and Kara may start to become at least something that's more spoken about, and then Toy Man will get out and create all types of problems. There's been rumors of a potential Bizarro Supergirl that may end up on the show, which I'm pretty excited about. I'd be super into that.
I would actually like to see that.
Yeah, here's what I like about this show is that they're starting to pull out some things that may have origins with Superman or with some other characters, but they're just going to go ahead and use them. Like using Martian Manhunter on Supergirl is like, well, you can you can claim that it's too light of a story or too light of a show. But if they drop Martian Manhunter and Bizarro Supergirl, it's kind of like you can't deny this is a show you have to check out, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think those are both positives with that show.
Again, props go out to Melissa Benoist. She's been carrying the show very well.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see what happens when her husband gets on the show, too.
That's going to be interesting to see how their real-life chemistry translates to on-screen chemistry in a comic book world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chemistry. Legends of Tomorrow. Now, I got some news on this. I don't know if you got this, Bobby, but Ali Liebert, she's from the show Kyle XY and Fringe. She's been casted as Lindsay Carlisle, who's set to be the future love interest of one Sarah Lance.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Nice. I like it.
Now, she's going to be a woman from the 50s, though.
Oh, really? That's going to be interesting because, one of the cool things I'm seeing in the show and all the promos and stuff that's going on is that you forget that when they travel through time, they're going to have to just kind of be out in some of those set pieces where it's going to be the 70s or it's going to be the 50s. And so they've got to kind of deal with that. So it'll be interesting to find a love interest for Katie Oates' character in the 1950s.
Her love interest is going to come from the 50s and a time where open sexuality with females and guys was not even taboo. It was just forbidden almost.
Yeah, not a lot of. I mean, somewhere there's some party lesbian stories from the 1950s, but there weren't a lot of open stories about that in the 1950s. So it's cool they're going to be exploring that a little bit in that show. And again, props out to the team of Berlanti and Guggenheim and everybody involved that like to break ground with a lot of attempts at diversity and trying some different ways to put some things on television that you wouldn't normally see. So that's a cool thing. Big up to them on that.
Yeah, we've said it. They've brought a lot of social issues. They brought a lot of social issues to life, and this is no different at all.
No, and I think it's great.
So they're definitely gonna continue on with what they've been doing with this. The Flash. Now I got news that the Reverse Flash.
Hold on, before we get to the Flash, we've got I want to cover Arrow because we're gonna go to the Flash now. We're at Dr. Tone. Let's talk about Arrow real quick. Have you seen the latest promo for Arrow?
You know what? I was going to see it, and by the time I was about to look at it, things were happening, so I didn't get a chance to.
Oh boy, the new promo trailer is out. They've let it slip that Felicity gets out of surgery, and so obviously she's alive, which I think feeds into that belief that she may become Oracle. So I remember you weren't exactly excited about the idea of her being Oracle.
I wasn't. I mean, but I'd like to see how it plays out.
It'll be interesting. I'm not sure how that'll work, but obviously it would give her the freedom to kind of skate over to different shows and kind of keep things going as the overseer of everything that's going on, right?
Right.
And so the other things that I noticed in the promo, obviously Oliver goes on a tear after Felicity gets shot, and Damien Dark is really kind of stepping up his game to try and tear everything down. So you're going to see the collision of these two guys probably at their best at some point, and still someone's going to end up in a grave. So I like your idea that Lance is the one who ends up in the grave.
Still only being Lance.
Yeah, I think that might be where it goes, because I think it's the one thing that'll elevate Laurel's storyline to another level.
Yeah, you were saying, you and everybody else said they need something to elevate that one.
They do. They got to push it forward.
Because it's the Black Canary has just been there. Right. Speedy's character has grown.
Yeah, she's had stuff she's going to. I mean, she's died. Or close to it.
Yeah, she died, and then you got Diggle who gets the Magneto mask, and we just like, all right. You have a Halloween mask on your face. That's all you do. You have a mask on your face and you shoot a gun. Like you're not.
He shoots everybody really well, though.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
But yeah, they need to go somewhere with her. So I think having Lance die will kind of give her that thing of like now she's got a murdered parent.
So I definitely
gotta have a murdered parent.
I gotta check that out because again, I want to see. I will again. My biggest thing is, does Oliver go back to season 1 Oliver?
Right. Does he go back to killing everybody inside Oliver, which is still my favorite Oliver, by the way.
Which, if you have not seen the spoof that was done on Robot Chicken, it is the most hilarious thing ever. Because
Yeah, it's good. If you haven't caught it, find it.
Yo, this kid, for those who haven't seen it, he falls asleep watching Arrow, and he wakes up, he's like, oh my God, this is the Arsenal costume. I'm in the Arrow. He's like, you're the Arrow, the title character. So he sees the Arrow. He says, oh, which Arrow are you? Are you the Arrow from season 3 that's kind of real nice, or the season 1 where you kill every motherfucker in sight?
That's solid. That's super solid.
We need to do a body count on season 1's Arrow and compare it to RoboCop or Total Recall.
And also break down over the fact that no one who's killed that many people can calmly run for mayor without being a complete psychopath.
Or he should still have warrants out for his arrest.
Right, exactly.
Literally should still have warrants out. So switching
shows. Just let it slide.
Let's talk about it. The Flash.
Yeah. Let's get into this. There's all kinds of crazy going on. The whole thing with Earth 2 has kind of changed the dimension on this show, where now any type of weird, odd thing can kind of be a part of what's happening, and you just kind of have to accept it as going, well, there is a whole other Earth that people are coming over from. So,
and now we find out that Caitlin Snow's character, she becomes actually a metahuman, but it's not what everybody thought it was. It's going to be the Earth 2 Caitlin Snow that's Killer Frost.
Yeah, I think that's there's a lot of Earth 2 crossover stuff going on. There's been there's some scenes with Iris West and Grant Gustin where they obviously look like they're in a different time period. Caitlin in full-on Killer Frost mode, who seems to really be enjoying being Killer Frost. Somehow, as you started to mention before, the Reverse Flash and the character of Eobard Thawne is back for some reason.
Eobard Thawne is
not really sure how that happened.
Yeah, I saw that information. I was like, okay, because we got to bring back the Thawne line somehow, some way, because again, different Earths, allow different things to happen. So hey, it'll be interesting.
Yeah. And, of course, the debate rages on over who Zoom might be. But it does look like there's a scene where Zoom takes off with Patty. So I don't know how much that would do to quell the idea that, that Zoom is Patty from Earth 2. But I'm not sure that Zoom would come and steal the Earth 1 version of herself if it is Patty. So I'm thinking that's probably not her.
I'm still betting money on either one of Barry's parents.
Yeah, I'm still betting money that it's Barry's dad, who is the original Flash from the original TV show.
So we've been talking about the Flash, and we kept saying we were waiting to get. We announced that this person had been cast in the show. So what we're gonna do is we got a chance to talk to this person, and we're about to do that right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we get a chance to have our first real guest here on the Trusty Sidekick with myself and Bobby, and I'm pretty much honored to have this dude here, man. I watched this dude work for a while as a stand-up, but also aside of stand-up, he's an accomplished actor. The man been on TV for the longest. Like, real talk, like you've seen him in the NBC show Whitney. You see him currently in the show Truth Be Told. He just had his half-an-hour Comedy Central special, and now he
was on Bad Judge too.
Bad Judge? Yeah, Bad Judge. I was gonna do Bad Judge.
Don't forget about Bad Judge.
I wasn't gonna forget it. I was gonna get to it, but if you let me get
I never let you get to it.
So, but now he just got casted in the TV show The Flash. I'm talking to the one and only Tone Bell. What up, son?
Hey, look, man, I'm just trying to pay this rent.
Bro, what is your rent?
This Prius gassed up.
Bro, what type of Prius?
I can only afford my apartment because I drive a Prius. That is.
Bro, you've done 8 shows.
None of them stay on.
You're on all the shows. You even have your own show starting, right? You're putting together your own show for FX right now.
Yeah. I guess so. I got turned that in a few weeks, and they decide if they want to pull the trigger now soon. So,
bro, you are out here doing it, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
I don't know what more to say. You are a man that's working out now. You're in the Flash.
I'm in the Flash. So yeah, I just got that. Like that was a crazy. Okay, so quick story.
Yeah, how did it come about?
So I got a call and I turned it down like twice. Everything I book, I've turned down a bunch of times. I turned it down a bunch of times because I was like, I don't know, man. I don't want to do a drama. I want to be a guest star on a comedy. Like that's like a hit. You know what I mean?
Bro,
and
you
my
agent, Flash?
Yeah, and my agents were like, you want to do the Flash? Like, please go in for this. And I was like, nah, I'm cool. Next, and they're like, stop it, okay? And the casting director.
You need money, Tone. You need money.
Well, it doesn't pay that well. But the casting director was like, he was a very first TV audition I had in LA. Period. So when I got into town, I was like 2 months in LA, in Hollywood, and I auditioned for 90210, and I tested for it to be recurring, and I didn't get it, but it was for to have my very first audition, and I get that far, I was pretty proud that I was I got that far. Mm-hmm. So the second time I saw him, or maybe not even the second time, maybe a couple times after that, I saw him, and his name is David Rappaport. Amazing. He does all the superhero stuff for
I know.
Warner Brothers.
Yeah, we follow him on the Sidekick, Trusty Sidekick Twitter.
Yeah. Dude is amazing. He's always been super nice to me when I run into him on the street. He's always like, Tone, dude, we gotta get you on the show. So I go in and I'm shooting work scenes for. There's a show on Amazon called Transparent. Right. Jeffrey Tambor, right? That show was not originally supposed to be on Amazon. It was supposed to be on HBO. That show, I was in the work scenes for it. The show kind of transformed into something else, which is now Transparent on Amazon. But the lady, it
really transformed into something else.
Yeah, it really became something else. And so I'm in the park in Echo Park. Or Elysian, one of them over there by the Dodger Stadium. I'm over there shooting these work scenes. I get a call. Hey, they really want to see you at Warner Brothers for this show. I think it's called Tomorrow People, some superhero show on CW.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, okay. So I get it. I read it, but I'm already in the comedy mindset. So I read the sides. I go in and I read for 9-10 producers and the director, and I'm killing, son. I'm killing. I'm nobody's laughing, but I'm murdering this shit. And
you're feeling it.
David Rappaport pulls me outside and he's like, what happened? And I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, I hit all the punchline. He goes, this is a drama.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, is that why they weren't laughing? Because I'm seriously hitting. I'm hitting punchlines that's not even there.
That's hilarious.
So,
going off book with it.
I'm murdering. I was like, nobody found the jokes in this like I did, and they're like, that's because there are none.
That explains that.
The Tomorrow People didn't work out for you.
And so David is like, can you take 20 minutes and revamp this and come back in? By that time, I'm uncomfortable because they've already seen me do some shit that wasn't written. And so that's the last time I saw him. So this time, I went in the third time, and I went to the office, and it went great, man. He's super supportive, and it's people always think the gatekeepers of this career don't want you to get the job, and sometimes people do. I'm sure there's plenty of the dudes that were amazing at the audition, but everything worked in my favor that day. So between him being supportive and the producers are like, oh yeah, we like him, and Warner Brothers being like, we like him, and I feel like I came in, and it was. Dressed the part, and I only shot one scene so far, but it's been going well.
So your part, one scene, did you meet the entire cast or just Candace Patton?
Just Candace. Everybody else wasn't there yet. It was just so I play her boss at the news.
Yeah, Central City News. Yeah.
And so I don't meet everybody else until I guess we get further along. But I'm not in the episode. This is 214. I come back in 216.
Okay, so about 2 weeks. 2 weeks after they come back.
Yeah.
So good, man. We ain't got to wait that long to see you.
Right.
So now to find out that you got The Flash, this is one of the top-rated CW shows next to Arrow. Yeah. How does that feel?
I was hanging out with if you know the name Michael Cox. Michael Cox used to book Chelsea.
Yes, yeah.
When that was on, now he books The Tonight Show and World's Funniest with Terry Crews. Mm-hmm. So which I've done World's Funniest, and he does The Tonight Show. He and I were hanging out, just having a beer, just talking, and just career wise. He gives me some news I can't talk about yet. But then I'm like, dude, I just checked my phone, and literally I'm like, oh, I didn't even know. Twitter told me. Nobody called me. I found out on Twitter that I booked the fucking Flash. It's Variety. I was like, oh shit.
So wait, the shock that you put on Instagram and everything was legit?
I got the note from Instagram or it was from Twitter. I screenshot and I was like, oh fuck, this is real. I guess this is happening. And
was it me? I think I was one of the first people to retweet that when I saw it.
It was nuts, man. It was. I mean, I gained 1,000 followers off of the announcement alone, which is way more than a show on NBC has got me. I'm a star on a show on NBC, and nobody fucking knows it.
So you're part of this. You're part of something major now. Playing Scott Grant, Iris's new boss. The character's
Scott Evans.
Excuse me. The character's supposed to come in, and he's supposed to be. We getting down to brass tactics, real journalism, figure out everything that's going on.
Yeah, it's a little different. It's a little different. it was because I didn't know how stern I had to be, and I'm like, I don't want to be like finger wagging a dude that should be 45, 50 years old. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be a guy like this like too authoritative. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't want to come in like fucking Forrest Whitaker.
So did you add comedic elements to the character?
Only in one piece.
Okay.
So it was a quick scene. It was probably like 3-page scene, which is about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And there's only one part where I think my fans will go like, okay, this is what he would do if this was a comedy. But I kind of like, I was an asshole through that joke. And so but the director was cool, like, because even in the audition, they wanted me to be like so stern, like, be a dick. Which is kind of hard for me to do. Like, I can do it as a comic and be a dick.
Right.
And be funny. But they wanted me to be like straightforward. And I was like, this is going to be a little rough. I'm not used to this. But by the time I got on set, the director was like, let's play with it. Like, dude, let me see naturally what you want to do. Not the audition, do what you want to do. And he goes, yeah. He goes, now give me these two things. He goes, I got exactly what I need from this. He goes, perfect. They thought the scene was going to take 3 or 4 hours. It took 90 minutes.
That's because you're on so many damn TV
like,
shows. You know what to
give.
give.
By the time my manager hit me was like, hey, how's it going? I was like, I'm in the hotel. I was like, I'm back home already.
Now, let me ask you this, Don. And I know everybody asks this question. It's kind of a bullshit question, but I want you to try to answer it honestly because it leads to like my follow-up question. Would you say, were you much of a comic book fan as a kid? Did you read comic books growing up? Were you into any of the movies or anything like that?
I can't lie and say I was. I read Little Spider-Man growing up, but that's about it. I mean, I do a lot of research though. I mean, that's one thing that's helped my career out. Like anybody who, like I binge watch. I canceled dates. Like once I found out I got the Flash, I watched the entire season. I looked up the producers, what else they've done. I looked at the actors, what else they've done. I looked at clips. Like, everything I can do to make sure that I'm prepared to see what they might do, just to be like on my toes when they. And I asked them when I got there. I was like, Candace, what do you need from me? This is your show. What do you need from me? And she goes, no, this is your character. Do what you need to do. I'll follow you. And I was like, you can't ask for a better.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, anything
that's
better.
Like, I'm guesting on her show. And she's like, no, you let me know what you need. And I was like, and that's what it's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. But everybody's working together. Nobody's trying to outshine anybody.
But no, to answer the question, no, I watch, I read ahead in Walking Dead because I'm a huge fan. So the graphic novel, I do keep in a little Game of Thrones, but as far as comic books, no, dude, I really wasn't, which is weird because I was in Orlando, of whatever, whenever somebody hears this, a couple weeks ago, and I was headlining, and fans came out from the Flash with printed photos that, like, I guess fanboys made up, and they were like, hey, can you sign this? And I was like, oh, I haven't even shot a scene yet. And people are bringing like Flash logos for me to sign, all this kind of stuff. This is how crazy it is. I was signing an autograph, and the dude was like, "Can you turn that? Can you rotate that like 180 because the logo's upside down, and you're about to ruin the Flash." I was like, "Jesus Christ!" I was like,
"Wow!"
I almost signed the lightning bolt upside down.
Yeah, now you see the French are trying to do a podcast where we recap each of the shows every week and try and do it with any accuracy and just wait for the fake mail to come into us.
Look, I'm going to be honest with you. So this is what we do here on the Trusty Sidekick. It's about to get noisy as hell. But this is what we do on the Trusty Sidekick. We talk about all of the shows. We talk about all the shows, and we keep up to date with those. And now we definitely had to critique how you are on TV. And I'm going to tell you something. Even as my boy, bruh, if you ain't playing this role like an asshole, I'm gonna let you know. Cause you're supposed to be, okay.
Let me know. I mean, it's I do think it's gonna be a little different. I think once the next episode should be a little more personality as far as this guy. Cause you meet him briefly. I come off and I basically shove an iPad in some dude's face like,
damn,
fix it. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
And I come in like, every editor on this show perishes.
that is, yeah. I was gonna ask you, did you notice that every editor for this newspaper has died thus far? Yeah. There's been 2 editors and 2 have died.
Candace goes, so how many episodes you doing? I go, well, I'm allowed to do 5, which they could kill me earlier, or they could let my storyline live a little bit. It just depends on what they want to do, how far they want to follow the comic, because it's kind of it's based on the comic book, but it's also a procedural, and the element that there are different villains that they kind of just create sometimes. So we don't know exactly what it's going to be yet. But and she goes, how long are you going to be on the show? And I go, I mean, when y'all kill me, I guess I'm gone. Either I gotta move to the Arrow or
Damn. Gonna kick him out of Central City and move him over to Star City.
yeah. And you know it's hard because right now we're in Central City. We're in Century City.
Yeah.
How hard it was for me to say. I had to say Central City probably 3 or 4 times during the scene, and I constantly had to go Central City.
Central City.
I mean, I want to say Century City so many fucking times.
How is it filming in Vancouver?
Your character doesn't have a comic book origin, so the cool thing is that however many episodes you're in or whatever happens to you, it can be all original, right? You're creating somebody completely out of thin air for this.
Well, yeah, because of course I looked up my character, like, is he a part of the comics? Luckily he wasn't, so I get, he can be whoever. The cool part, I think, is we don't know, and I mean, like, the comic book world is so like tight knit and just like secretive that I don't even get the script until like 3-4 days before we shoot.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know anything. And the shoot in Vancouver was pretty dope. I mean, like, I've only shot I shot Adam Devine's house party. I was in New Orleans. I've shot Single Ladies in Atlanta, and then this was like the only in Soul Train Awards was in Vegas. As far as like shooting a TV show,
I need your agent. I swear to God, you keep naming off shows, even shows we didn't name in the beginning. Did you notice that he was like, yeah, Adam Devine's house party, Single Ladies. This is just other little shit I did. Just trying to pay this Prius, right? Keep gas in the Prius.
I caught a good wave.
Yes, you did. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
But yeah, it was cold and rainy. The first day I got there the sun was out, but it was still like 35, 40 degrees maybe. But I know like Dino Archie is the only comic I know there, and so I wasn't going on stage, but I was like, you know what? I've been on the road so hard and working. I mean, luckily with a TV show, I'm super blessed with that. But I was like, I've not had a day just to like not get a phone call. So I was like, I'm not going on stage tonight. I was like, I stayed in my hotel. I went and grabbed a beer and a meal, and I watched Golden State in my hotel room. I took a bath. I bathed. I didn't wash. You know what I mean? I just soaked. I had like a glass of whiskey in a tub, and I was like, man, I'm gonna just chill right now, because it just it's been a blessing to be able to take a bath and not have to worry about stuff.
It's weird when you get to hear a grown man say. It's weird you get to hear a grown man say, "Yo, man, it's a blessing to be able to take a bath." Be able to sit in a tub in Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
So look, Bobby, before we get torn up out of here, you got any last things you want to say or ask?
Yeah, I just want to ask. I mean, it's awesome that you got this show, but you're doing a lot of things beyond just this show. I think I don't want anybody to get caught up in the idea that you're just a comic who got a couple acting gigs. You got this new show coming out on Netflix. You're writing it. You're starring it. Is this based off of like your pre-comedy life or your current comedy life?
So every comic, drop a little notch. Every comic that has, or producer who used to be a comedian, or show creator, showrunner who used to be a comedian, has different phases of their life, different like entries. So like even the creator of my show right now, as far as the truth be told, he's done 2 other shows that are based on his life, but there's just different eras of his life.
Okay.
And so this FX show is one perspective of my life. It's how I think, and we have some elements that are dropped in that are based around my life. But I got when I was a teacher. I have when I worked corporate. I'm actually talking to like Channing Tatum's company about possibly producing this old job he used to have at Budweiser. There are so many avenues of what's funny and when and to who that you kind of don't know what's going to take off or like be what somebody's going to be interested in at the time. So you kind of pitch them all, and people go, "Oh, that's relevant right now. We should talk about that." I grew up in Atlanta, and then moved to San Francisco at a time when Atlanta was more gay than San Francisco. like, do you realize, like, because everybody, like, when I left Atlanta, people were like, watch out for San Francisco. You a cute dude, you're gonna get hit on a lot. By the time I got back to Atlanta,
it was watch
San
out for
Francisco. People in San Francisco were like, yo, man, watch out for Atlanta.
His thing was a bunch of dudes telling you that though. But a bunch of dudes telling you, you're cute.
A little bit of everything.
A bunch of dudes like, hey man, you a cute dude. You might want to watch yourself.
Well, dudes go, hey man, look, women like you, dudes gonna like you.
Okay, okay.
Make the voice a little deeper so it don't sound weird.
Bro.
But women go, oh, they gonna like you. You know, so it gets weird. But I mean, but yes, to answer your question, like, so the FX show is about my life, and I mean, like I said, Channing Tatum's home, and like we're talking about a different avenue. We don't talk about it a lot, but I have a deal with I have a development deal with NBC right now too to pop out a project that is going to be from a moment of my life, which is actually just working with Kate Walsh. I mean, like the fact that we did Bad Jets together, her and I got so cool that we would talk about everything under the sun. And her and I mean, you talking about like early 30s black dude, mid 40s white chick, grew up different. It's a weird combo, but we kick it so hard and so well. I mean, like it's an interesting play on like what would it be like if these two folks lived together.
Right.
And like, I mean, I can't drop like what the background is on why.
Yeah. But
like, it's an odd couple type thing, but which we haven't seen. I mean, like people always do like two guys in an odd couple or two girls in an odd couple, but their backgrounds are different. But it's like, what if you just switch that shit up completely? And now the reasons why they have to be together. I mean, the aesthetics of it, the visual is just as interesting as their background, and so we're trying. I mean, and who knows? Like it spawned off of me and Kate, but who knows who the chick will be? I would love for it to be Kate, but like who I mean, who am I to be like, Kate Walsh, you want a job? You know what I mean?
You know, you want Grey's Anatomy and everything, but you won't.
You're doing fine.
You're doing fine. I mean, but you want this now?
Yeah.
So, listen, I want to thank you, bro. I know you got a lot of stuff you got to do. I want to thank you for being on the podcast, on the Trusty Sidekick with us. Before I let you go ahead and tell the people out there listening how they can reach you.
Man, I am Tone Bell Tone, not people. The amount of people that go Tom or Tony, I go, look, I said Tone, okay? I don't know how to make it more clear. If you're looking at me, my face is doing a different movement than Tone and Tom. Do it in the mirror real quick. Your lips do something different. Your tongue does something different. And people go, I've heard this shit. T-O-N? Well, you didn't go to elementary school because that's not how you spell.
That's Ton.
Oh, Jesus. Tone, T-O-N-E. Bell, Tone Bell, and that's across all platforms. So, yeah, that's how you find me.
Yeah, find him on Facebook, Instagram.
And Tone is Funny is my website.
Tone is Funny on the website, man. Catch this man in The Flash. It returns January 14th.
Damn, I ain't know that.
Keep track of these things, man. I mean, 18th, right? 18th, right, Bobby?
January 19th. The Flash is back January 19th.
19th.
Yep.
Okay, well, he got the date right.
There you go.
That's why I use his half-white side for that.
Yeah.
But thank you, Tone Bell. Man, we will talk to you a little later. Bobby, all right, bro, we appreciate you, bro.
All right, man. So want to thank you again to Tone Bell for taking time out to talk to Bobby and myself here on the Trusty Sidekick podcast. You can catch him. Cool. You can catch him in the second half of this season that returns. What is it, Bobby? January 19th.
January 19th. It's actually the same night as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or Agent Carter. I think they're on at separate times. If you get your DVRs ready, if you like DC and Marvel, because there's a Captain America special because it's the 75th year before Agent Carter kicks off. But I would tape the Captain America special or record the Captain America special and watch Flash, because if you keep your eyes open, you're not going to have to look very hard to see Tone Bell in the second half of this season.
Not at all. So, yeah, this one is going to be a shorter week, man, because there isn't much going on. We are definitely going to look forward to having more information coming for next week, hopefully. It's New Year's Eve coming. It will be the turn of the new year by the time we're back. So what's your plans coming up for that, bro?
I'm probably going to be at Laugh Factory in Chicago for a bunch of events. So check out my, here's the easiest way to keep in touch with me. Find me at itsbobbyhill.com, or you can find me on any social media at mocha_Jesus on Instagram and Twitter. You can always keep up with me there.
All right, and as always, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Periscope, all at Mr. J Washington, MRJAY Washington. Listen, that's been it for another edition of the Trusty Sidekick podcast. I've been your resident supervillain, Mr. J Washington.
And I've been your resident superhero, Bobby Hill. Make sure that you, if you listen to this podcast anywhere and you have a chance to review it or give us a star rating, please give us a high star rating. We've been exploding as a podcast here, and we've had so many great new listeners. We're grateful for everybody that tunes in and listens every week, and all the kind words that people have said, and the growth of our listenership has been outstanding. So we thank you guys for that.
Man, we appreciate all the listeners from all over the world, literally, not just the cities, countries, the world. We appreciate you guys. We will talk to you guys next week in 2016. 2016, man. Pretty much, yeah. It'll be 2016
You got it.
by the time we talk to you all.
You bet.
So until then, we are out of here. Take care. Peace.
Later.